So Dave and I are back for the second time today.
Yeah.
It is CrossFit has released their fully calculated power rankings. Thank you, CrossFit, for doing this so quickly after releasing like how they're calculating it. Really do appreciate that now there's actually concrete stuff to look at. So Dave started sort of looking over my shoulder and was making comments about things. We decided to not talk about it and then to do this and talk about it now. So this is our just initial thoughts running through the athlete rankings to see if we think it kind of hit the mark. So, all right. I'm gonna run through the men for you, Dave. Was that it?
Yeah, let's start. We can start there.
All right. So top 10. We got Medeiros, Fellner, BKG, Saxon, Lazar, Adler, Krennikov, Fikowski, Hopper, and Gee. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess like looking through this, I know the one that sticks out is probably Lazar Ducic, like to be fifth overall. Because like he hasn't had a top five finish at the games to this point. So to see him top five, I guess consistency leads a bit. Um, Especially over Adler, because Adler wasn't Adler top 10 of the games last year as well.
So Lazar was eighth and Adler
Was 13th.
13th. Um, it could also be how did Lazar do that much better at semifinals the last 2 years?
Oh no, Adler won Atlas this year. It was second at Atlas last year.
Okay, so he's maximized those points.
Yeah, and Adler's the open guy. So I don't know. I guess within the top 10, that one kind of sticks out.
Yeah,
Um,
but being the open guy in this scoring system doesn't matter.
yeah, I guess seeing Krennikov at seventh, even though he didn't do the games last year, is also kind of an interesting one up there as well to be so high, especially like he's over Fikowski. Fikowski podiumed last year. Fikowski won a semi this year.
Yeah, that is quite interesting because in terms of but I was thinking comparing him to Ricky, but he had the rest of the season last year, just not games points.
Right.
I feel like Guy's a bit high too.
Yeah, well, I guess like he's finished 10th of the games. He's won a semi. Kind of fits.
Yeah, I just didn't know if winning the semi pushed him above people, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess yeah, he has those two top 10 game spots, which I think are really boosting him up.
True. Yeah.
All right, so
All right.
moving, I guess 11 through 20.
Sure. So we've got Koski, Olsen, Sager, Vigneault, Mayer, Quant, Upnix, Happelinen, Hude, and Crouch.
Yeah, I guess nothing really like stands out here. I guess Quant's the interesting one because he took a zero last year, similar to Krennikov, but I guess he is deep on the list considering he only finished fourth this year compared to Krennikov in second. So you can see it like a meaningful jump here of just points with just how they rank the podium, which like it's good. Like I think they should be ranking the podium a lot higher. I think across the board than they have, but you're the second fittest man on earth. You have a huge jump over the fourth.
Yeah, and he was also Quant was fourth at a semifinal versus Krennikov being first.
Right.
Yeah, to me those make those next 10 guys make sense. Do you want to keep going by 10s or go by 20 now?
Maybe let's do the next 20.
Okay, so we got Morad, Pepper, Matthew, Karavasov, Paulson, Mertens, Dunn, Luka Ducic, Corone, Raquelme, Chandler Smith, Jason Smith, Adrian Moonweiler, Spencer Panchek, Cole Griesheber, Scott Panchek, Baden Brown, Maurice Fiebig, Austin Spencer, and Tyler Christoffel.
Yeah, like I guess like this is where they've lost me. How mixed up things get here because you got Will Morad in 21st. He went to the games 2 years in a row, and then I guess 4 spots down, you got Paulson, who also went to the games 2 years in a row. Then you got Pepper and Matthew, who haven't.
And Dunn's in there, and he
Yeah,
hasn't.
yeah. So you
And
had,
Luka Ducek, and he hasn't, but Crone has.
yeah. It's just interesting to see like how like things now get mixed up, really hard in terms of, you have people here in the top 40 who haven't been to the games for either year. There's got to be people on the outside who have been to the games. Like,
Well,
yeah,
like Gilliam Bryant was at the games
yeah,
this year, and he's 41st. But Tyler Christophel, Austin Spencer, Scott Panchek, Moonweiler, Jason Smith, Luka Ducek, Royce Dunn, all didn't go to the games this year. But based on past years, they're ranking higher than someone like Bryant, who was at the games this year. He made it out of Europe.
yeah. I guess like Christopher's the one that sticks out because like he hasn't made the games either of the past 2 years. So to see him ranking higher, like albeit 20 points ahead of Bryant, who did make it to the games.
Christophel wasn't at the games in 21?
No, he's been last chance at both of them.
Oh. Yeah, that's weird.
So
Did they calculate last chance in on this?
I don't know because he's getting 27.50 for semifinals last year. Like I think he was 6th. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Is it 250 point drops for semifinals?
What did he get at a semi? What place?
I think he was 6th last year.
So we get 2,750 for 6th.
Yeah, and I guess like looking at it now, like the idea of different points for different semifinals also like it seems odd now that everything's laid out because like you got Baden Brown, like the guys finished 3rd out of Oceania the past 2 years, only got 2,200 points for semifinals each year versus
Christophel, who misses, gets like 550 points more.
Baden Brown has 4,400 for 2 years of semifinals, finishing at 3rd both times, where Christophel has 5,000 points for finishing. I'll look it up real quick, but
yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Christophel was 7th at MAC this year and 6th at Atlas last year. So again, you're like
he gets 5,750 points, and Baden Brown gets 4,400.
Yeah,
not a good system.
No, like that one seems to like stick out. Yeah, especially I guess like in Oceania. So you got Dunn won last year at the semifinal, so you got 4,000 points. Crouch was 2nd, so 3,000, and then 2,200 for 3rd in the Oceania, which is like it's penalizing. Like it's obviously penalizing, but then at the same time, it's just like, how are these guys ever supposed to boost up when just like they can't even earn the same number of points as somebody equivalent on the other side? Like,
yeah, the fact Baden Brown's made it out of his region that does not have the same number of tickets, so like harder to get to the games, but has been to the games, is packed in with a whole bunch of guys that have been once in 2 years. When he's proven he's like games level material consistently, and someone like Royce Dunn, who's gone once, is ahead of him out of his own region. Just because did Dunn do better at the games, or why is he higher than Brown?
Oh, because he got the 4,000 points for winning last year.
Oh, like the semifinal.
Yeah, he won Torian last year, so he has that big boost there. Again, like Spencer Panchik, 2,250 for his semifinal last year, which was 7th. Yeah, so like somebody 7th at West Coast is getting more points than somebody finished 3rd at Torian. Like, I don't know. Like,
that's not right. Again, like kind of looping back to like our other video we recorded today, is just like how can they ever earn themselves more tickets if like perennial games athletes that are top 3 at their semi can't get more points than someone in North America that goes 1 year or doesn't even go.
Yeah, it doesn't even go. Like he's 500 points ahead of Christopher, who hasn't made it to the games. So unless you are Tia and are head and shoulders above everybody else, like I don't see how these other regions have a hope of gaining more seats.
They don't without the athletes like winning the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising how many sort of, I would say, next echelon of athletes or kind of like cusp athletes like Matt Douglas is in there, Connor Duddy's in there, Jake Berman's in there above Tudor Magda. But Tudor Magda went to the games this year. Like, I don't
Yeah, I guess
didn't
like
understand.
Magda had a pretty bad semifinal last year, but still, it's his 150 points for going to the games is pretty negligible.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we scroll a bit further down, let's just look at like the top 100. Is there anything else kind of surprising or names that you haven't seen?
I guess like Willie Georges is the lowest ranked games athlete, 79th, mostly because he missed pretty
Last
much half the
season.
last season. Yeah, he got
Yeah.
590 points for last season.
And that's just going to be part of this system, which
Oh,
is where the like point ranks for like open and quarterfinals is kind of a bit too high because there's a lot of names above him that I really kind of recognize them, but then some of them I don't.
I guess interesting. Number 99, Phil Toon. So he can still be ranked if you are serving a 4-year suspension. So that's good to know.
Wow. Yeah, so a bit of a tangent segue from that. I just saw Jessie Smith's Instagram stories.
Yeah.
She's not ranked because she changed her name partway through the season. So I don't understand. Like, and
Classic
that's just like
CrossFit.
Phil Toon. Like, your systems and right hand and left hand aren't talking to each other. Listing Phil Toon in the top 100 worldwide ranked athletes is massively problematic.
Yeah.
That's terrible. There's whoever is 101st. Who's 101st? I've got it over here. 101st. Let's just give 101st a shout out. John Colty. John Colty should be listed in that top 100.
Yeah.
Let's give him his due. And Philip Moscarella and Justin Rhodes are all tied at 101st. I'm kind of a bit shocked that
Yeah.
that is. Did nobody look at it? Like, was
I
this
don't know.
reviewed? Ah, yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. Sorry. Big reaction.
Oh yeah, like it's
That's
ridiculous.
and like, yeah, no, just bad. Bad, bad, bad. All right.
I guess I find it there's equal weightings between 2021 and 2022. Like it's again just also just
It's
yeah.
not how the sport works. The fact that you were good in 2021 means nothing about 2022. Like, every comp that they go to, they're showing up with 0 points. There is 0
Yeah.
carryover. There's especially, like, outside the season. Is there anyone else that was injured? No, Koski's up pretty high. Or
He still competed.
yeah,
He
his
did
surgery was
everything.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quant's the highest athlete with a goose egg. Oh no, Krennikov had a goose egg from the games last year too. 7th. So
There's some weird things
yeah.
for sure. The fact that, yeah, Baden Brown getting fewer points than Tyler Christoffel in his 2 semifinal games tickets is, yeah, not into it. All right, let's switch gears on to the women.
Yeah, so I guess women, we'll start off the top 20. Obviously, Tia Claire Toomey, Laura Horvath, Mal O'Brien, Healy Adams, Danielle Brandon, Gabrielle Magella, McQuaid, Brooke Wells, Amanda Barnhart, Tara Saunders. Then 11th, Ariel Lowen, Christy O'Connell, Jacqueline Dahlstrom, Emma Lawson, Lexus Raptis at 15. 3, Helga Daughter, Katrin Davidsdottir, Bailey Royale, Caroline Prevost, and Danny Spiegel are your top 20.
I don't think anything there is really weird or surprising.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
Katrin
Emma.
is a bit high, maybe, given that she didn't make it last season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess she's high, but she's 17th though, so like she's still all right.
yeah.
Emma Lawson's who's out. I think like she seems pretty high at 14th. But again, like she's only 400 points above Alexis Raptis, but then finished 5 or 6 spots higher in the overall standings.
It's like to me, this rank in terms of worldwide ranking for all the ladies who are at the games, they should be ranked how they were at the games.
Yeah,
Like that is the last time they were all tested against each other. That's how it should be. So I find that a bit weird that it's kind of not taking into account the last time they were all toe to toe.
yeah,
Like it is taking it into account, but it's like not significantly enough, I guess. All right, on to the next
yeah.
20.
So 21st was Cindy Michaelishin, Karen Freyova, Emily Rolfe, Caroline Connors, Suguyen Choi, Matilda Garns, Paige Semenza, Christine Colabrander, Samantha Briggs, Lucy Campbell, Ellie Turner at 31, Victoria Campos, Chloe Wilson, Freya Moosberger, Paige Powers at 35th, Alex Willis Kazan at 36, Michelle Bassinet, Solveig Sigurdottir, Michelle Morand, and Rebecca Fuselier at 40th.
Yeah, here's where we start running into problems for me. And this is kind of goes back to like ranking them based on the games. But like Sung Young Choi is not better than Garns or Semenza or Lucy Campbell or Ellie Turner. Like she's not. But
Yeah, or like
she's won her semifinals, so she got a lot of points.
yeah, like I guess like Ellie Turner, like so she's qualified 2 years in a row. She had a top 20 finish this year, but like same as Baden Brown, she finished third twice, so she's sitting there at 31st overall. Like I would probably pick her above everybody above her. I guess Garns or Rolfe, like, but like anybody else, if you ask, like Ellie Turner or Cindy Michaelis, and going into the games this year, who are you gonna pick?
Yeah, Ellie Turner. Like it's yeah, like Sung Young Choi had 4,000 points in winning her semifinal,
Yeah,
and Ellie Turner has 4,400, being third twice in
yeah.
Oceania. And everyone's like, Oceania is so strong. It's, like they're not ranked with that way.
No, it was just it's not tiered. I guess yeah, like almost looking the other direction. So like Ellie Turner has 11,640 points. So she's 700 points ahead of Chloe Wilson, who has not been to the games.
And Bazinet's in there because she got 4,000 points in her 2021 semifinal
Yeah,
when she, I don't know, was she even second in the African semifinal this year?
probably not with 800 points.
Oh, true. Yeah. No. Because I was
Well, I
like,
guess
I don't even think she was top two.
Michelle Morand also has 800 points. Like, how badly are they punishing that semifinal?
Yeah. So it's,
Yeah, so Morand was third last year.
yeah. So 800
So
points is third. Yeah. Yeah. But like, so they get punished for third at 800, which for Africa, like that makes sense. But then the 4,000 for winning it also just doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Like, if you're going to play it down that fast, like the top has to be different. And like, you can change the top based on if your strongest athlete out of that continent is under 30, you start at
yeah,
2,000 points. If you're under 20, you start at 3,000 points. Like, like you can be more creative based on how the people coming out of that continent actually do to actually capture the continent strength in some way
yeah,
because yeah, there's people that just won their semifinals that are way up here that shouldn't should not be. And
Yeah.
again, like Michelle Moran came out of Africa this year and she's below Michelle Bazinet, exactly like Keelan Henry is below Jason Smith. And they both beat those athletes this year. All right, that's up to 40.
Yeah. So I guess 41, Elena Cartella Zanhuja, 42, Fisa Gaffi, Kelly Clark, Oyana Moya, Kelly Stone, Evie Hollis, Taylor Howe, Laura Clifton, Caroline Stanley, Allison Scudds, Shelby Neal, Julie Hogard, Alicia Fuliano, Lee Irons, Amy Morton, Emma Tall at 56, Lindsay Porter, Olivia Sulik, Amelia Lundberg, and Claudia Gluck at 60th.
I don't know, it's weird, like, when you list that out, listing names that, like, have been to the games, but 2 of them weren't at the games this year, so I'm fine with them being down.
Yeah.
But I would prefer it if it was because 2021 was actually ranked with less weight. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's interesting just to see how like these teams athletes ranked. Like so Laura Clifton like was 48th and like she didn't do a semifinal because she went teams, which I guess like makes sense. But then if she flips back to the individual competition or who was it on the men's side? Like Josh Al Shama, I think was
Mhm.
ranked 90th something because like they're not doing semifinals because they're not supposed to do semifinals. But then like you're still ranking them like they did semifinals. So it's just kind of like, well, like
Yeah, it's not a 0, it's a did not attempt
yeah,
kinda thing. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good
so like
point that it nullifies their potential strength just because 'cause they're on teams.
yeah, like if you go, like if you use Clifton for example, like if she goes as an individual this year, like that, those game spots are going to be a lot more challenging out of Oceania than if she wasn't there. Like
Yeah, and she's not bringing, like, a lot of, like, strength to the field
no,
because she went team. It's kinda like in the other video, talked about, like, Annie and Con, like, whether do they need to do individual quarterfinals when they go team to make sure that they get points in their individual quarterfinals, even though they have 0 intention of going, just to maintain, like, some semblance of power rankings so they don't get zeros in the
yeah,
individual quarterfinals as well?
well, like it's almost like leaning that way. But again, like I don't know like how much the weighting is because they still haven't. I don't think they've said how they're going to allocate the different spots or what that formula is. But yeah, if you're bringing 5,000 points instead of 8,000 points to a semifinal, like that could mean the difference between 3 spots and 4 spots, like for Oceania.
Yeah, it's it's just kinda goes to, like, does it matter? Like, what do these rankings matter? We're saying they're calculating
Yeah.
field strength and stuff on it, but then, yeah, the absence of doing a competition doesn't mean they're not strong.
Hmm.
Like, if they're out for injury or out for some other reason, then, like, yeah, it does, like, leave a question mark of whether they'll be back. Can they come back? All that kinda thing. Like, someone coming back from an injury, like, a reason that they didn't compete, it is 0 because it is more unknown. But someone that just didn't do it because they went team, it's a bit different.
Yeah. 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 So keep rolling to the list. So 61st, Calista Lang. 62nd, Sylvia Garcia. Is Queerdo, Emily White, Julie Cato, Taylor Reber, Madeline Sturt, Emma Carey, Madison McElhaney, Kyra Milligan, Annika Greer at 70, Marie Robin, Elena Buds, Kalia Stefano, Sydney Wells, Sihir Kaya, Megan O'Donnell, Veselmi Kolstead, Nicole here, Ella Wagner, and Carolina Key at 80.
Yeah, for me, oh, just random Jesse Smith should be, like, in there around Madison, Kieran, Annika, somewhere in there, just to give Jesse Smith
Yeah.
her due. Um, yeah, it's just, like, Julia Cato seems low.
Yeah. Is she the first South American on the list?
Um,
Oh, no. Victoria Campos is 32nd.
oh, yes, yeah. Yeah, that seems a bit low that again, it's just like current games athletes.
Yeah.
Like Seer Kaya should not be 75th. Like there's a lot of people that she beat at the games that are ranked well above her. Like, no, she's not a 75th athlete.
Yeah.
There are dozens of women that I would pick her ahead of on this list because I've seen her compete with
Yeah.
other people that are further up the list. Like, yeah, like Seer Kai shouldn't be that low. Not at all.
Yeah.
But she just had a super weak semifinal last year.
Yeah, because she finished second, so her semifinals 2,000 points. And then the year before, I'm gonna guess she finished third.
Well, she was
Um,
200 points in a Europe or oh no, that's Asia.
Asia
Okay.
seventh. Yeah, like in terms of the rankings, like she might not even shouldn't even like barely even count. Like she
Yeah,
got
it's a thing like that
200
if you
more points than close to Lang last year in her semifinal, and Lang didn't compete. So
yeah, and she's behind people like Annika Greer that had no semifinal score this year,
yeah,
was not at the games last year. Yeah, Sierra, I don't understand how they think that she can be that low. It's yeah, no, nope.
yeah. I guess okay. So like again, the obvious with Oceania. We're just gonna continue whining about this. At least I am.
Give her.
66, Maddie Sturt, 8,520. So I think she was fourth in Oceania this year, fifth last year. Is 90 points ahead of Annika Greer, who didn't fully complete quarterfinals this year or do a semifinal this year.
Yeah, so if they ranked Oceania just on sixth place alone 1 year, she would have 2,000 more points.
Mhm.
2,150 to be exact.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people that don't make it out of North America and Europe get more points than someone who's literally in the hunt, has been to the
Yeah.
games, can be competitive.
Yeah. Was competitive at last chance, couple years, but ranks like a percent and a half higher in points than somebody who didn't complete quarterfinals.
Yeah. Like, part of me wishes that we knew how this was tested, who all was involved,
Yeah.
how many people were at the table to look at
Yeah.
this, because like this is our initial look at this. We put zero effort into it. All we're doing
Yeah.
is reading the list, and like seeing Seer Kaya down there, you're like, oh no, we've got something is weighted too heavily. Like to me, that's if you're looking at a data set and you're seeing something like that, something's off. Her performance at the games to put her 75th worldwide is no, like somebody didn't look at the outcome of this system. They kind of came up with the system and then published it.
Or they only looked at the top 20. Top 20 makes sense. After that, it's questionable.
But like, is Katharine top 20?
Yeah, she was like 10th or something.
No, I know,
Oh,
but like,
is she?
is she top 20? Like, okay, she's got a couple titles, but she's in a competitive field in Europe and did not beat a number of women lower than
Mm,
her on this list. She didn't beat them. They improved. She had a bad weekend, whatever, insert reasons here. But I'm sorry, she shouldn't be 17th because there are a whole bunch of European women below her that beat her.
yeah.
Like, or does the fact that you don't make the games out of like competitive fields mean nothing? Because she went to Europe, so she's good. So
Yeah.
she'll still be in the top because she came out of Europe, even though she didn't beat women. Like, it's a competitive sport. You don't get to be top You don't get to be 17th in the world when
Yeah.
you didn't make it to the world championship. So,
Yeah. I
I
guess
would say
like
their top 20 is not right.
yeah, the top 20. I don't, but yeah, I guess yeah. If you were to choose one this year, or if you were like competing, spot of the games on the line, who would you rather go against? David's daughter or Ellie Turner?
If I was competing against one of them,
Yeah, in this
um,
hypothetical world.
oh yeah, I would want to compete with Katrin more than Ellie Turner. Ellie
Yeah.
Turner, they're both would kick my ass. Like, let's be real. But it I would assume it'd be closer with Katrin
Yeah.
because she didn't make it to the game. Like,
Yeah.
I would pick tons of athletes over her. It's She didn't make it. She might not make it.
Mm,
She might be done. Like, not every athlete always makes it every year. Not every athlete is going to be around like Annie has been around. Like, that's an
yeah.
anomaly. Catherine's been around a long time. Has the sport changed? Has it progressed, changed past what fits for her? Has the Boz season versus the Castro season changed? And she can't make it anymore. Like, sports grow and change.
Yeah.
Um, that's why when everyone talks about Fraser and Rich, who's the best, the sport was different. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. And just like Katrin, she doesn't get to be up there just because she's Katrin. Like, no, the sport's growing and changing, and maybe she's done. Maybe she's not. Maybe I'll eat all of these words and happily eat them to see her crush it at the games again. It's nothing personal. It just, there's a question mark there, which you don't have a question mark in your top 20 worldwide ranked athletes. They should be for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So here, you know who is not on this list? Annie Thor's daughter.
Because she didn't do individual quarterfinals.
Yeah, I know she didn't do
She,
individual quarterfinals, but like
so she
she
was going
finished third
team,
at,
so she's not calculated.
but she does like so. This has to be thought because when we looked at the men, Ricky was 49th. He only has one season of activity. Annie has a season of activity and an open, and
But
she's
she,
not on the list.
because these are the 2022 individual quarterfinal athletes. So she must
Oh,
not
okay.
have done the individual quarterfinals.
She did not.
So
Okay.
she did not. So she's not on this list, which is also, maybe they should be thinking about some of these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Because
like, I
like,
get it. They limited it to the athletes that competed in individual quarterfinals.
but it, like I don't know. You're running a formula. Like somebody didn't go through and plug in all these numbers by hand. Like a computer generated it. Like why didn't you just pull in the why didn't they just give us the top 100 and be done with it? Like
I think I would say that a computer generated all of this is um, not for sure, given the absence of Jesse Smith. But then Phil Toon being in there makes it seem like a computer did just run it. But then Alex Kazan's name's not right.
um,
Um, so I don't know. But yes, Annie Thor's daughter is
yeah.
massively missing from this list and should be calculated with her opens and her previous year because she'd be in the top.
Well, no. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to pick this apart because they also have Shadburn on the list, but she didn't do a semifinal last year. Oh, she did a quarterfinal.
Yeah, anyone on here must have done quarterfinals last year.
Yeah.
That'll be the one column that will for sure have
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody populated.
Emmy Carrion or 60 points. Um, Jamie Simmons also is not on this list, which I find odd.
She's not,
No,
but she went to.
she was
She
fifth
was at a
at Torian.
semifinal.
Yeah, she was fifth at Torian last year.
This is where I said the confidence in
Yeah.
a computer running this. How are they missing Jamie Simmons? Like Annie, it's a miss, but like I get it. She did not do quarterfinals, obviously. But
Well,
Jamie
I guess
Simmons
like
is a semifinal athlete.
Yeah. Well, I guess like looking at it, I don't know what fifth place for Torian
Oh,
was, but
so I found her on the full athlete list.
no, okay.
So Jamie Simmons is 1039th.
Okay. Right, because they get penalized because of Oceania.
Yeah, it doesn't have like the breakdown on this page of like how it's calculated.
Mhm.
But yes, so Jamie Simmons is not top 100
Right.
or 500 or 750 or 900,
Oh,
1039th.
I read that. I've listened to that as 139th, so just outside of it. How many points does she have?
She has 4,580 points.
1,580 points. Interesting.
She last in 2021, she was 10th in the Open, 101st in worldwide quarterfinal. No, this is 2022. Oh, it's because her 2021 season is nothing because she was hurt
Right.
or coming back from surgery.
Yeah.
But she was still, yeah, it's the weight on the Open and quarterfinals. She's that low because she didn't do Open or quarterfinals.
Didn't do it at all.
That's her
Interesting.
1,900 points plus however many 900 points. That's her 3,000 that would pull her up to 7,000 total
Yeah.
points on like some real napkin math there. Because if it was she was 7,000 ish points, she'd be 124th
Yeah.
ish. Which
Okay.
again, like she had a solid 2022 season. So just because she was injured in a past season,
Yeah.
she doesn't count. When she does count, she had a better season than Katharine did. Or
Yeah.
no, I guess she missed the games.
No.
But
Okay. Speaking of the list, is Olivia Kerstetter on the list?
um,
Our CrossFit Games 16 to 17-year-old champion?
oh God, no, because she didn't do individual
All
quarterfinals.
right. Of course. Crossing things.
There's a lot of Olivias when I search
No.
Kirsten. Oh, she is. So she must have done quarterfinals. She is 2,439th
Okay.
because she only has open and quarterfinals of this year.
Yeah.
So
I guess
again,
that
like
makes sense.
she should be up with other people that like didn't make semifinals. But those people have done like open and quarterfinals twice. So literally anyone from your gym that has done
Yeah.
open and made quarterfinals 2 years in a row is ranked higher than Olivia Kerstetter.
Yeah.
Simmer with that for a sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked, to be totally honest. Like when we're like, "Eh, pause, make sure we don't look at it. Let's just record our reactions to this." Um, I didn't expect to be this shocked with the outcome of it when applied across the field.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah. I gotta. It definitely has. I don't know. It has some serious holes. Like I guess, like looking at it, how someone finished seventh at an event in North America can get more semifinal points than someone who finishes third at Oceania.
And the fact that like the games ticket spots aren't like even. And like one thing I wanted to do, I haven't done it, but I can do it quickly. Is that like so the total number of points given to athletes is 42,900. Total points are given to the Europe and North American athletes.
In
Oceania's
semifinals.
or sorry, semifinals. Yeah. So
Yeah.
North America and Europe total number of points is 42,000. Oceania 15, 10 for Asia and South America, and 9,695 for Africa.
Yeah. Like you're never going to change the makeup of the games. Like Without somebody becoming the next Tia, who wins everything, there's nobody outside of North America and Europe who have a hope because they can't even win the same number of points.
Yeah. The application of the worldwide ranking. I don't think it's good. You?
No, I think they've missed. I guess like it's still ultimately to be determined because we don't know how they're going to assign the seats with those 17 remaining game spots. But like in terms of evolution of the sport, like I don't see how any of those other regions are going to get more spots. Yeah, like we've kind of proven, like all 3 Oceania women last year were top 20. Obviously, Tia's gone, but like I'd much rather see Madeline Sturt than whoever is going to finish 20th at or 11th at a North American semifinal this year.
Yeah.
Or Jamie Simmons, like Laura Clifton, like
yeah.
I would take any 3 of them out of I don't know, whoever finishes 11th at the West semifinal.
Yeah, there's some misses in terms of handling past seasons.
Yeah.
And there's some misses in terms of the points allocated to the semifinals.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah,
that is it for anything else?
Oh no, like it just like you'd be like giving all these other athletes a vest to wear in a running event, but European and North Americans don't need a vest. It's what it kind of feels like. It's like
pretty much like it's not good.
Yeah, you guys are doing the same thing except for you need to wear a vest because it's harder for you because you're further away. So you're smaller. You need to take more steps.
Okay, I'm gonna end you there so we can be done. Our thoughts, it was not tested, not applied right, I don't know. If anyone wants to have a conversation with us, we're at Franlong Analytics on Instagram. Check out our info on Franlong if you want to look at like athlete stuff. We're going to try and get some of this stuff up on Patreon in a bit of a way that you can like look at it. So yeah, we will, I'm sure, be chatting about this again. So, until then, have a good one.